Ruslan.
All right, we're going to just jump right into it. Check this out. There's been a lot of shenanigans, a lot of misinformation, a lot of just a lot of stuff that I think is unhelpful. So we have to form our opinions, our presuppositions in reality. Okay. And so why? Because Jesus tells us that you in John 8:30, he says, "You are truly my disciples if you remain faithful to my teachings." In verse 32, he says, "And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." So I'm primarily going to be speaking to Christians today. So if you're not a Christian, this does not apply to you. And I'm probably going to hurt some of your feelings, but that's okay. And what we're not going to do is we're not going to create alternative realities. We're not going to correct facts. We're not going to play any games. We're just going to keep it a buck. Regardless of your political affiliation, this is not an indictment of everyone who's voted for Trump. I have close friends that have voted for Trump. I have acquaintances that have voted for Trump. And I'm going to show you guys some clips of folks who voted for Trump. So this is not an indictment of everybody that's voted for Trump. This is an indictment of the Maga cult. And yes, I use the word cult intentionally. This is an indictment of the Maga Christian who's a part of the Maga cult. People who are more known by their affiliation to Trump than their affiliation to Jesus, yet they still want to hold the title Christian. So we're going to jump all the way in it. And some of you guys who are perpetuating nonsense, yes, nonsense, are going to get your feelings hurt. But here's the deal. I think it's important for us to maybe get reacquainted a little bit. I am not here to coddle your feelings. I am not here to just preach the gospel to you, to just dribble, boy, just dribble. That's not what this is. I'm going to stand on truth. And in order for me to stand on truth, we have to have a common ground of reality. And there's a lot of you guys that have checked out from reality and you've created your own alternative sources of reality, of news, based on your ideology and what it can't or can't be true. So in this type of situation, a lot of you guys have started with the preconceived notion that there's no way that Trump voters could do this. Now, those of us who have remained objective will tell you, hey, this is actually in line with a lot of the behavior of the MAGA cult. And we've been saying this to you guys for a while. So I'm not going to spend much time. I'm going to let the MAGA cult people talk to you guys. So this is Bryson Gray. I posted a clip of this on my Twitter. I've gone back and forth with Bryson Gray numerous times. And he's gonna do the talking for me, and for a lot of the MAGA cult people. Okay, so we're gonna look at this video, and then I'm gonna show you some more stuff, and then we're gonna identify the people who went into the Capitol yesterday. And their identities, by and large, have identified. By the way, it's been confirmed that over 70 people have been arrested. 4 people have been killed. 4 people have been killed. All right, and a lot of these identities have been confirmed. And no, you silly goose, it was not Antifa. Okay, so and by the way, I spoke to Bryson privately about this. Now, I do not like Bryson's politics. I think he is pretty far gone in terms of the MAGA cult vibes. However, I appreciate Bryson's honesty. This is the dope part about the information technology age, is you're going to have an outlier that's going to say, nope, we're not going to talk about nonsense. I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. So I'm going to let Bryson do the talking for me. Check this out. This is very interesting. Okay, so buckle up. If you're on some, this was Antifa, buckle up. Buckle up. Here we go.
I'm disappointed in social media MAGA tonight. And I'm not talking about MAGA that's out here in the streets, because we're out here in the streets.
They're out there in the streets, and he's disappointed in social media MAGA. Okay, we're not talking about folks who voted for Trump. We're talking about MAGA. Different. These are different energy. Keep listening.
But the people that claim MAGA on social media, that's searching for somebody to blame for Patriots storming the Capitol building. Y'all looking for somebody to blame.
For Patriots storming the Capitol building, his hoodie says Patriots versus everybody. He's wearing a MAGA bucket hat. This is Bryson Gray. He's the Christian MAGA rapper, the MAGA Christian rapper who was who made the diss track against Lecrae. Okay, now again, I went live with him on Instagram before, and let's keep watching.
Oh, this person was Antifa. Oh, this person was Antifa. Shut up.
Talk, Bryson. Come on, buddy.
And I'm saying shut up for multiple reasons. That Viking guy that dresses like a Viking that y'all think is an Antifa member, he's a popular person in the Q community.
The QAnon community. That's what the Q community is.
He's like some shaman. He does some shaman religion. He is very weird. Do not confuse him.
Yeah, he is weird. Mm-hmm.
He's very weird. Mm-hmm. But he's a Q person that y'all trying to say he's Antifa. He wasn't protesting with Black Lives Matter. He was at the Black Lives Matter rally. He was at the Black Lives Matter place with a Q sent me sign far away from Black Lives Matter, protesting against them.
Okay, point number one. This guy, we're gonna pull up his name. Where is he at? He's been identified. Where is the name? Let me see. All these people have been identified, by the way. Okay, here we go. This gentleman right here, so he's talking about Jake Angiel. Okay, he lives in Arizona. Couldn't be reached for comment, but his cousin Adam confirmed that the man in the horns was his relative in a brief call with CNN. He's a patriot. He's very big. He's a very big United States of America type of person. Okay? So, Bryson Gray, MAGA Christian rapper right here, just confirmed it. And then CNN spoke to his cousin. Said he was in between jobs. Okay? So, again, hey, we're Christians, we're going to be people of truth. Okay? We're not going to alternate reality. We're not going to alternate history. These were far-right terrorists. Okay? Far-right terrorists. There was explosives found there. 4 people killed. They swarmed the Capitol. Okay? Let's keep watching.
And I don't really support this guy because I'm a Christian and I don't support his religion. But what I don't support is y'all lying on somebody. And the reason y'all are lying on somebody is because y'all want to blame somebody else for storming the Capitol building. And just to be clear, the guy that actually broke the windows first, storming the Capitol, he's a fan of mine, and he actually showed me the video of him doing it.
This is Bryson Gray, ladies and gentlemen. MAGA rapper, beloved MAGA rapper, the guy who first broke the windows into the Capitol. Was a fan of his, showed him the footage of doing it. Now, thankfully, Bryson was wise enough to not participate in swarming the Capitol. By the way, all these people are going to be arrested, and 70 people have already been arrested. A lot of these people are going to be arrested because their identities have been confirmed, right? Because we got the internet now, okay? And Bryson, again, listen, I wouldn't have done this, but this man is honest. He's keeping it a buck with y'all, right? I mean, granted, the feds is watching. The feds is watching. Dry snitching going on here. Nevertheless, you know why? What do you need Vlad TV for in the MAGA community when these guys will spill all the tea themselves, right? But hey, I appreciate the honesty. This is the most extreme view of the MAGA cult that I have access to. Okay? The most extreme. I'm going to show you guys other people who are Trump voters and Trump supporters that have a way more reasonable view after we get through more of this clip.
There were Trump supporters in the Capitol. There were Trump supporters in the Capitol. We are really out here in the streets fighting for this country.
We really out here in these streets fighting for...
And y'all are on Twitter finding somebody to blame other than supporting us. And
you on Twitter? How dare you be on Twitter and say this was Antifa? How dare you?
Jonathan Hamilton, thank you so much for the $5. Yes, RIP to the girl that passed away.
We're going to get into the girl that passed away. He was actually wrong about her. She apparently looks way younger than she is. And by the way, goodness gracious, He kept talking about fighting for his country, fighting for his country. Yo, they dropped so many super chats on this man because they legitimately believe that he was fighting for his country, right?
He got shot by Secret Service.
This man probably made like $1,000 in his live stream off super chats.
I think y'all need to know about the, y'all sit here blaming Antifa for everything. This guy's popular. Go look him up. Y'all are literally trying to ruin a man's life for what? Yes, that was Patriots storming the Capitol.
It was Patriots, guys.
And I know what I'm saying. Let me tell you something. Stop comparing what happened today to what BLM does and to what Antifa does.
How dare you?
We didn't go to no restaurant. We didn't go to no clothing store. We didn't go to Target. We weren't looting and burning down local businesses.
Come on, keep telling us.
That's not what we was doing. Jasmine W, thanks for the $10. That's not what we were doing.
Nope.
We went to the people we were angry at. That Capitol building is a public building paid for with our tax dollars. Everybody that works in that Capitol building are paid by our tax dollars. And we didn't kill nobody. We didn't shoot nobody. We didn't do any of that. We didn't stab anybody. No. That is not what happened. We went in there, and the only person that was shot was a Trump supporter, and she was 17 years old, and it was caught on camera. A lot of people told us about it before it was reported to y'all.
So she wasn't 17 years old. The lady who was shot was actually from San Diego. I think the reason why he got that wrong because her Twitter handle, she followed my buddy Zuby. Her Twitter handle, she had an alternative name for her Twitter handle. Her real identity has been confirmed by her ex-husband. She's from San Diego. I'm going to get into her identity earlier. Here's the issue is his logic. Think about his logic. Don't dare compare us to BLM or Antifa. We didn't burn down random businesses. We went to the area where with the people we had issues with, we went to storm the Capitol. We are patriots. Okay? Look up Bryson Gray. 100 and something thousand subscribers, 350,000 Instagram followers. Look him up. Okay? They view themselves as patriots. This is the MAGA ideology, the cult vibes we've been trying to warn you guys about. Myself, Pastor Roy, KB, Amin, we've been trying to warn you guys about these shenanigans, and you kept saying, oh, it's like the kid that cries wolf. No, this was real. We told y'all this was real. We told you guys this stuff was real. They view themselves as patriots. And they have massive support. Again, Bryson probably made $1,000 in this live stream alone because people want to support them for trying to have a revolution in America. Let's keep watching.
And the sad part about it is, all of y'all are trying to put these rumors on people. Y'all trying to make up reasons why things happen. Ryan Lugo, thank you so much for the $20. Y'all trying to make all this up. Y'all are not out here. We out here. Y'all not out here. Y'all making up rumors, and y'all think we're making Trump look bad. Oh, y'all are making MAGA look bad, lying on somebody. That Q dude.
Y'all are making MAGA look bad. Y'all are by saying this was Antifa, y'all are making MAGA look bad. They're the real MAGA.
He is weird. He always wear that Viking stuff with his shirt off. But he is out here protesting every single event. He is a known person in the Q community. Y'all out here trying to ruin this man's thing so y'all can blame something on Antifa. Norma Jess, thank you for the 10. And the reason it's so irrelevant, because let's say if he was Antifa, there was hundreds and hundreds of Trump supporters actually inside the building. So let's say
hundreds of Trump supporters inside the building. 70 arrested.
Antifa actually the people that broke through the window down. Trump supporters are all through there. So it doesn't make sense. Andrew, thank you for the 5. And then y'all.
Hey man, I'm starting to feel a way that this man is making thousands of dollars in being down with the folks that swarmed the Capitol, and can we get some super chat over here for the objective people trying to tell you guys the truth or not? I mean, hey, you know what? I'm not. Let's just get back to Bryson because I don't know.
Influencers on here criticizing Patriots for what happened today. By the way, I'm out here and I was in the streets. I was at the Capitol. Wickster with the $50. God bless you, man. Thank you so much. And it's so sad to me because y'all are condemning what we are doing, which y'all condemning what we're doing out here, which is actually fighting for the country, actually being in the streets. That means y'all
actually being in the streets and fighting for the country.
Condemning our founding fathers. That means y'all condemning 1776.
1776, but you pay attention.
That means y'all condemning everything this country is built upon in the first place. Jake, thank you for the $5. Wasn't there all kinds of pics of Antifa and Trump clothes? Let me tell y'all something. No. Joshua, thank you for the
Wasn't there all types of pics of Antifa and Trump clothes? Let me tell you something. No. Thank you for the $5 super chat. $10 super. Okay, there you go. I appreciate y'all, man. I feel the love now. I thought it was only Maga cult that supported people like this. Thank you, guys.
And I'm not saying there wasn't any Antifa out there, but I want to let y'all know the police let Patriots in the Capitol building. They just let them. They open up and let him in. That Viking guy is not Antifa. Okay, he's a weird shaman dude. I forgot what he.
Appreciate the super chats. I'm low key trolling, but yo, this man cleaned up on this live stream. Somebody later on gives him $300. He cleared a stack on this. That's a fact. Somebody gave him $100. This man cleared a stack.
Some type of.
I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad or give to me. That's not what I'm joking. But y'all started giving. Maddie, I feel terrible. Thank you guys. I feel terrible. All right, I love you guys. Yo, shout out to everybody. Yeah, don't feel compelled to give if you don't want to give. I was joking, but yo, these folks, you know. Anyway, so this is Bryson Gray. I'm going to link this up. Y'all watch the whole thing. Watch the whole thing. Not because I'm promoting him. I'm not promoting him. I want you guys to understand how these folks think. They think they're fighting a revolution. That's what this is to them. Listen to the language of Trump, of his daughter, special people, patriots. That's what they were saying to these folks. This isn't, I repeat, this is not an indictment on all Trump voters. If you voted for Trump for policy reasons, whatever, I'm not mad at you, okay? I'm not mad at you. But you have to take a sober look in the mirror and ask, if you're perpetuating nonsense and living in an alternate reality, are you complicit in some of this stuff? Right? Are you complicit in some of this stuff? Now, popular question I've been getting. Wow, you guys are killing it. Thank you, guys. Popular question I've been getting is, Ruslan, did you go this hard when there were the riots over the summer? And clearly, you either haven't been following me very long, or you just didn't. You're just too lazy to search. But the unequivocal answer is, yeah. Yes, I spoke out about the Antifa BLM riots. Absolutely. I did a whole video about the situation in Kenosha and Kyle Rittenhouse that I lost followers and subscribers for. And if this was about followers and subscribers to me, this is about being honest and truthful and rooted in reality, regardless on which side. And I'm trying to get Lavarciere from Grow the Heck Up to come on. I need to speak to some sensible Trump MAGA supporters. Because I don't understand some of this, because a lot of folks quiet. And there was this demand for anybody that was even loosely affiliated with saying Black Lives Matter, which we all distanced ourselves from the organization repeatedly distanced ourselves from the organization. As early as 2015, when I first spoke to Shobaraka about it, when this stuff was first starting to, 2015, and Shobaraka told me, hey man, yeah, I don't rock with the Black Lives Matter folks. And I was like, why? And he's like, because they're on some disrupt the nuclear family and it's funded by Marxists. This is 2015, Show told me this. Show then went on to start his own nonprofit. I'm gonna get Show on. This was back in 2015. We've been distancing ourselves from the Black Lives Matter organization. Telling y'all, no, we don't co-sign that. We don't co-sign violence. We don't co-sign the disruption of the nuclear family. We've been telling y'all this stuff. But now when the tables have churned, and now it's MAGA swarming, it's deflection. It was Antifa. Well, no, it can't be. It can't be MAGA. No, MAGA people love Jesus. No, this is a cult. Again, not talking about all Trump supporters. Not talking about all Trump supporters. Not talking about all Trump voters. There's levels to this. There's levels to this. There's Make America Great Again, the slogan. Okay. Then which is coined by Ronald Reagan. Then there's folks who voted for Trump because they're Republicans. There's folks who voted for Trump who who like some of his policies. Then there's MAGA. MAGA's a cult. Okay? MAGA's a cult. Flat out. That's what we're talking about. There's levels to this. Okay? There's levels to this. Just like it is with BLM. Just like it is with people on the radical left who want to legislate you to change what pronouns you use. There's degrees to this stuff, guys. So let's keep watching.
Religion. But he is not Antifa.
Not Antifa.
He's a Q guy. $5 from Jackson said people were really saying they were violent, and these celebs posting saying Trump. Listen, how are we violent? Show me one person that got harmed by a Trump supporter tonight.
This is the issue with him here. And this is what really pissed me off about Bryson Gray and anybody that's acting like this stuff is cool. And thank you guys for all the super chats, by the way. Anybody that's acting like we weren't violent, we just swarmed the Capitol. Now, I'm not going to show you guys the footage of the Air Force veteran that got killed. But the issue is when you swarm the Capitol, you're setting yourself up to get shot by the CIA, which is what happened, and it was tragic. 4 people killed. So they may have not been in there with guns trying to attack anybody, but guess what? People got killed. And if they keep, I'm telling you guys, the reason why we have to call out this insanity is if we are going to be soft on it, if we're going to be okay on it. One of your friends and families might get wrapped into this stuff and get radicalized. Yes, I use that language. And then next time, it ain't gonna be the Capitol building, it's gonna be the White House, and it's gonna be a freaking massacre when it's not 4 people that get killed by 400 people that get killed. 1,000 people swarm the Capitol. That's why this stuff matters. That's why we can't be soft and weak on this stuff. No, we didn't hurt nobody. Yeah, but a person got killed. One of the first people going through the door. I'm not going to show y'all the footage. You can look it up. It's terrible. One of the first persons swarming one of the doors gets shot in the neck by the CIA, a lady from San Diego. We're going to get to her identity in a second. She was a follower of my buddy Zuby, by the way, friend of the channel. I've been on his channel. So don't play me like I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's keep watching. But we didn't kill, we weren't violent. We weren't violent like BLM and Antifa. Yeah, but before people got killed on your watch.
You say he's a witch? Yeah, he does magic and stuff. Yeah, he is a witch. He has a YouTube, y'all. He's not an Antifa, but he is like, yeah, you know. But toxicity with the $15. This all gets super twisted. They for the 15, bro. Just kidding. He's not a witch. You crazy? Have you? Okay, no comment. But listen. Amy with the $5, 1776, exactly. So when y'all say things like y'all condemn what we was doing, that mean y'all condemning our founding fathers.
When y'all say things like y'all condemning what we were doing, you're condemning our founding fathers. I didn't say it. He said it. Patriots versus everybody. This is a glimpse into this world, just so we're on the same page.
Do y'all know what 1776 was about? Matter of fact, if people didn't fight, we would still be a part of Great Britain. As you best said, I was at the Capitol. Lots of Patriots bumping Bryson and Tyson. Thank you so much. I was at the Capitol too, man. And a lot of people showed me videos of them in the Capitol. Another Trump supporter took a baseball out of one of their offices.
It's funny.
You know, Secret Service shot the lady up.
It's funny.
And it got to the point where somebody said, because a lot of pages, that guy who wears the Viking stuff, he was out there taking pictures with everybody and wanted a picture of me and Forgiato. So we took a picture with him. Jocelyn, thank you for the 10. And I posted a picture because everybody was like, he was Antifa, so I posted a picture and they was like, Bryson is Antifa. Bryson is Antifa.
Y'all catch that? There's so much cognitive dissonance in this community by the people that weren't there. So now there's infighting that they're now dismissing Bryson Gray, the MAGA rapper himself, and he definitely snitching on himself. But it's okay. I'm glad I had to do this early so he didn't take it down. That there's folks in there who now called him Antifa. Bryson Gray, the MAGA Christian rapper, the KJV only guy, with the Make America Great Again bucket hat and the Patriots versus everybody hoodie. him Antifa. This doesn't get any better
People
than this.
actually were believing that. I am so disappointed in MAGA because y'all making us look like all conspiracy theorists now. Like, I hate the word conspiracy theorists, but when y'all start saying people in Antifa that y'all don't know nothing, y'all don't know nothing because y'all never at Trump events, y'all never pop out in the streets.
Never. Y'all
Y'all just trying to call random people Antifa.
Uh-huh.
Then try to say Bryson is Antifa. Have you lost your dang on mind?
How dare you?
You know how much I sacrificed enough for this movement? Don't ever do that ever in your life. Andrew Watson, thank you so much for the $5. Y'all are taking this too far. All just to try to demonize the actions that were done tonight. Nobody was hurt.
Nobody was hurt though. Yep, someone was killed.
Nobody was hurt. Toxicity with another $15 on 12 couldn't really go. No, a lot of people couldn't come. That's different than people that was in DC and didn't come. Thank you so much for the 5. 1776 is built upon us fighting. Stop talking about you. Do you know what a patriot means? Being a patriot means you're willing to defend this country against enemies. So, someone got killed. Yes, a lady got killed.
They view themselves as patriots. I'm not going to show you guys any more of this nonsense. Thank you for the super chat, Joe Chop. I'm not going to show you guys any more of this nonsense. Okay, we're going to, in a little while, we're going to go and we're going to look at some of the identities that have been confirmed. Okay, but again, what are we on today? We are on John. We are on John chapter 8. I'm speaking to Christians. If you're not a Christian, this doesn't apply to you. If you're unregenerated, if you're not born again, this does not apply to you. You believe what you want. You go get sucked into your own alternate reality. You do what you want. I'm speaking to Christians. Okay? We're called to be people of truth. And even if you got wrapped up with some of the MAGA cult vibes, you need to repent. You need to change your mind. Because John 8:31, Jesus said to the people who believed in him, you are truly my disciples if you remain faithful to my teachings. What teachings? I don't know, teachings like love God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself? Hello. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. That's our theme verse for the hour. Now, let me show you guys somebody that I actually respect a lot more after seeing this clip. Okay, after seeing this clip, and he's a friend of the channel, and I've had a chance to build with him personally. I strongly disagree with a lot of his political views, but I appreciate him. Because he was honest. So this is Marcus Rogers, 515,000 subscribers. Marcus Rogers was actually walking around and sharing the gospel with people. Marcus Rogers was actually walking around and praying for people and preaching when he was out there. Also on the MAGA vibes, but not MAGA cult vibes, in my opinion. So let's check out what Marcus Rogers had to say from his experience on the ground. Check it out.
Yesterday, and from the very beginning, and this is, you guys know me, I gotta keep it 100. I'm not loyal to no side but the truth. I love the truth. I seek the truth. I pray and ask God to show me the truth. When I first got there, yes, I did see some dude walking around with a KKK flag. I did see some dude with some horns on his head. I ran into him about 10 times that day, and something just, it felt demonic, right? When I looked, it felt like he was operating on some kind of witchcraft spirit, right? And I felt that every time that I saw him. I did see people out there talking about they wanted to hang Biden, and they had some little props and stuff. People definitely came out there with the wrong energy, the wrong motives. I seen people coming out there with body armor. Now, some of them came out there with body armor probably because they scary. Like, they saw some of the, Antifa stuff. Some people came out there with body armor because they was looking for a problem. I'm a realist. Some people acting like, for example, with the Black Lives Matter rallies and riots, everybody's saying, oh, there were people out there trying to make us look bad. And then people at the Trump rallies be saying the same thing. No, if someone doesn't have the Holy Spirit of God, they are capable of operating in their flesh and their feelings and their emotions and doing stupid stuff, because there's no good thing that dwells in the flesh, period.
This is why I keep saying I'm speaking to believers and born-again Christians here. If you're not a believer, you're not a born-again Christian, you could believe whatever you want. You know what? You can go and be in your alternate reality. You can be in your alternate universe. You could have your corrected facts. That's not who I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about Christians who escalated from voting for a Republican because that was their conscience, to transitioning to Christian nationalism, to transitioning to full-on MAGA cult vibes, and now you're showing extreme degrees of cognitive dissonance. You're refusing to acknowledge that this was MAGA cult that did this stuff. This is a terrorist organization. They found bombs there. Okay, and you're refusing to acknowledge that because it doesn't fit your preconceived ideology. Doesn't fit your preconceived ideology that something like this could happen. That's who I'm speaking of. And Marcus Rogers makes the point that if you're not saved, then yeah, sure, whatever. You're going to go into these situations and you're going to be violent and act crazy, right? Now the issue is, see, this is the issue of this is this. With the BLM riots, we know that folks, who are out there aren't under any type of Christian umbrella. They're not trying to tell you they're under a Christian umbrella. They're not talking about God. They're straight out there protesting their cause. However, with folks swarming the Capitol, there was Jesus flags. There was professing Christians that were a part of these shenanigans. This is why it's different. This is why it makes it dangerous. And this, yes, I spoke out against the Kenosha riots. Yes, I spoke out against some of the Black Lives Matter stuff. I did. Okay, let's keep watching Marcus Rogers.
So when people are rioting and breaking into stores, that has nothing to do with justice. You be breaking into stores in your own community. Same thing. All right, you feel like you're fighting for justice storming the Capitol. Let me give you an example. The woman who got shot at the Capitol the other day, all right? When people were telling some of these black people that got shot to just comply with the police, well, she didn't comply and she got shot.
Yeah, he just said that. He just said that.
So think about that for a second. So when I watch people storming the Capitol and doing the things that they were doing, you guys could see the video footage.
Hold on. Again, guys, listen. Y'all don't understand this. You guys don't understand what I'm doing here. There's a part of me, for the sake of my own mental health and the type of energy I want on my channel, I'm trying to intentional weed out some of you MAGA cult members. If you guys didn't get it, on my Instagram, on my YouTube, on my Twitter, I'm intentionally trying to make out. So who's the guy? If you I'm a shame on you, unsubscribe. Where's he at? Let's hide him so he could be gone. I'm doing this on purpose. You don't get it. You don't get it. I'm not going to just dribble and just teach the Bible because that's what you... No. We're going to have just scales. We're going to be people of truth. We have to start in some degree of reality before we get into the gospel and the good news. Okay? So yeah, I'm doing it intentionally. So you unsubscribing to me, you're doing me a favor. You unfollowing me is doing me a favor. I don't want you here if you're in the MAGA cult. I don't want you here if you are more identified with being a supporter of MAGA before you are identified as a Christian and a follower of Jesus. Let's go back to Marcus. See, I'm okay with Marcus Rogers. Me and him text. That's the homie. I disagree with him on a lot. We're gonna have him back on the channel. But this is a reasonable person who critically thinks he is not thinking this from this is my ideology and I'm trying to infer my reality on the situation. He's just gonna tell you what it is. Okay. So this is where it gets problematic. What was violent about yesterday? Only violence was police killing an unarmed woman through a door surrounded by police. An unarmed woman who was breaching the Capitol. Think about what you're saying for a second. You're okay with her breaching the Capitol. You're okay with her breaking federal property. And then you're shocked when she gets shot and killed by the CIA.
I judge them by the content of their character and what they show me. So, no, I'm not going to sit here and act like Trump supporters are just so holy and above that they were all there with innocent motives. Negative. Same thing with the Black Lives Matter protests. Plenty of people go out there riding and they don't care nothing about Breonna Taylor. They don't care nothing about George Floyd. All they care about is an easy come up. All they care about is looting, rioting, and being in rebellion, period. So I condemn both of them. I have no issue doing that. Wrong is wrong. I don't care what color you are. I don't care how you try to justify it. The Bible says doing to others as you would have done unto you. If you don't want it done to you.
Right? I showed you guys a spectrum. I showed you guys Bryson Gray, who thinks they're all patriots and that they were serving this country, right? There's that. Then there's Marcus Rogers, who's, hey, I voted for Trump. I feel like Trump's going to be president, right? There's a spectrum here. I'm highlighting a spectrum for you. But at least he's objective in the reality and not defaulting to, oh, this was Antifa. Based on what? We're going to go over the identities of the people. So let's talk about the woman. Let's talk about the woman who was unfortunately killed yesterday as she was breaching the Capitol building. This is super sad. She's a veteran. She's from my hometown. Okay. She was 35. Her name was Ashley Babbitt, 35. Okay. One of the first people to breach. If you could go look up the footage. I'm not going to show it to you now. Right? One of the first people to breach. When a group of Trump supporters stormed the Capitol and smashed windows on Wednesday, a woman jumped onto a pane and started through. Seconds later, a gunshot rang out, and the woman who had a Trump flag tied around her waist tipped back and fell onto the marble floor as she spilled blood, as blood spilled from her shoulder. They shot a girl, someone yelled. Right? And then it goes on here. Babbitt, a native of San Diego, served in Afghanistan and Iraq before other deployments with the National Guard to Kuwait. Ex-husband Timothy McKinney told the Post McKinstry and Babbitt met in the Air Force and were married for 14 years before splitting in May 2019. McKinsey, who did not know Babbitt had traveled to D.C. for the protest, was shocked by the news of her death and described her as smart and strong-willed. I feel absolutely terrible and sick to my stomach about it. She was never afraid to speak her mind in a way that was her way of speaking her mind. Going to the rally. McKinsey said that Babbitt had married and owned a pool supply company with her husband, Aaron Babbitt. Babbitt's mother-in-law told WTTG, which did not identify her by name, that her son did not accompany Babbitt to Washington. I really don't know why she decided to do this. We never forget meeting her on social media. Babbitt recorded combative videos about immigration policies while expressing her support for a border wall. In early September, she tweeted a picture from a Trump boat parade in San Diego wearing a shirt that said, "We are Q," referring to QAnon, the far-right conspiracy theory. The tweet also included WWG1, an acronym used by supporters who believe in the claims that Trump was battling a group of deep state child abusers. Babbitt retweeted a message calling for Vice President Pence to resign and be charged with treason. Videos of Trump rallies and photos of that was her last tweet that she tweeted. And Twitter took it down. Twitter took it down. Twitter took it down. So this is when keeping it MAGA goes wrong. This is extremely sad. This woman did not need to die. Okay? This woman did not need to die. A lot of these folks are looking for identity, and this is on a deeper level. As Christians, again, I'm speaking to Christians, where is your identity lie? Is it in Jesus? Or is it in MAGA and your political ideology? Right? This is dangerous. So let's go over the identities of the people. That's the woman that was killed. Apparently there was 3 other people killed. They have not released their identities. So let's go over some of the identities. This is Jake Angeli. I don't know how to say this. Lives in Arizona. Couldn't be reached for comment, but his cousin Adam confirmed that the man in the horns was his relative in a brief call with CNN. He's a patriot. He's a very big United States of America type of person. Okay? Facebook page is filled with posts evoking the conspiracy theories of QAnon, whose adherents believe in ludicrous theory that there's a cabal of Satan-worshiping pedophiles who have infiltrated the highest riches of American government and are being opposed by President Trump. This is why it's so important for us to be rooted in reality. And this is not to say that any and every conspiracy theory is completely fabricated. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? But we have to be people of truth and rooted in reality. Okay? Some of his Facebook posts have a violent edge, such as a meme: "We shall have no real hope to surveillance the enemy, to survive the enemies arranged against us until we hang the traitors lurking among us." Depicts him adorned in fur and taking an aim towards. In recent months, Angel has been a regular presence at pro-Trump protests in Arizona, including demonstrations outside the Morocco County Voting Center. Other riders photographed at the Capitol wore clothing with QAnon icons and held signs with slogans. This is the guy that they claim was an actor, by the way. He was an improv actor. This is the guy that they claimed was an improv actor. This dude right here. Okay. Confirmed by Bryson Gray as a regular at these things. Confirmed by his cousin, who confirmed him as a patriot. Confirmed by his own Facebook page. This man was not an actor. He got wrapped up in some wonky QAnon stuff. Right? His identity wasn't in Jesus. His identity wasn't in reality. It was wrapped up in some nonsense. Okay, so let's keep going. CNN has also highlighted Nick Archis in a crowd of protesters storming the Capitol building during a joint session. The rioters who filled the Capitol, including the founder of the Proud Boys Hawaii. Remember Trump told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand down and stand by? A chapter of the far right, hello from the Capitol. He tweeted with a selfie of himself smoking a cigarette in the building. Okay, this is now, so we've gone on from QAnon to Proud Boys Hawaii. Okay? With the selfie of himself smoking a cigarette. We didn't have to break in. I just walked in and filmed. There were thousands of people in there. They had no control of the situation. I didn't get stopped or questioned. Oates ran an unsuccessful campaign for the state legislature last year, winning an endorsement from Trump confidant Roger Stone. This is one of Trump's right-hand men to help get him elected, who recorded a video with him. He claimed in an interview with CNN that he was working as a professional journalist when he entered the Capitol and that he didn't go into any congressional offices or chambers. A far-right activist who was at the Capitol Hill Wednesday, Tim Gannett, who live-streamed video of himself inside the building for more than 25 minutes, according to multiple screenshots. Gannett, a prominent extremist voice who goes by the pseudonym Baked Alaska, online attended the 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, a senior researcher with the nonprofit Southern Poverty Law Center said. Gannett has been suspended or barred from various online platforms. He cannot be reached for comment. This is this guy right here in this photo. He was at the Charlottesville. You guys remember Charlottesville? Right? He was there. This is the guy here. One of the most widely shared photos from the forum was Richard Bingo Barnett, the leader of a pro-gun rights. Excuse me, I got him confused. This was a different guy. This guy was a Richard Bingo Barnett, the leader of a pro-gun rights group in Gravette, Arkansas, lounging in House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office with his feet up on a desk. Barnett, 60, later showed reporters outside the Capitol an envelope that he said he took from Pelosi's desk. I didn't steal it, he said of the envelope. I didn't steal it, he said of the envelope, which was addressed to another member of Congress. In a video posted on Twitter by the New York Times reporter, I put a quarter on her desk, even though she ain't effing worth it. He said he also left a note on her desk that said, Nancy Bigo was here, you B-I-T-C-H. You claimed that he was maced. Facebook videos that appear to have posted by Barnett on Wednesday show him walking near the Capitol. A photo posted that morning where he's carrying an American flag was captioned, "It's time," and he previously asked for prayers as we do our best to protect our patriots. Again, our verse for the day, we're going to keep going back to our verse for the day. And if you're not a Christian, this doesn't apply to you, you could check out John 8:31. Jesus said to the people who believed in him, "You are truly my disciples if you remain faithful to my teachings, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." We're going to be people of truth. We're not going to push nonsense. We're not going to push nonsense. We're not going to use alternative facts. We're not going to correct facts. We're going to be people of truth. So shout out to everybody who's here and liking the video. But how do we get here? I'm going to give you guys the backstory. You guys don't quite understand the backstory. In American Christianity, there's been three main groups, if you will, not counting folks of the black church community. That's a kind of been its own tradition. Three main groups: the modernist, the fundamentalists, and the neo-evangelicals. Now, who are the modernists? The modernists were the people who held a very low view of scripture, high view of culture, high view of their ideology, right? We would say that today these would be some folks that are progressive Christians, okay? So they were completely, I would say, coloring outside of the lines of orthodoxy. Now, the fundamentalists are the complete opposite. Very, very, very high literal view of scripture, very low view of science, low view of engaging culture, low view of trying to be relevant, trying to be engaging, okay? Fundamentalists, think of guys like Bob Jones, think of guys like Jerry Falwell, okay? Phil Visker did a great video about this. He did a great video breaking this down. I'm gonna tie this in on how this relates to what we're seeing here today. Then you had the neo-evangelicals. Now, the neo-evangelicals weren't perfect. They definitely, guys like Billy Graham or neo-evangelicals, they weren't perfect, but by and large, the neo-evangelicals did not want segregation, okay? They held a high view of scripture, and they also held a high view of culture and art and media and science, right? Those are called the neo-evangelicals. Bob Jones University, Jerry Falwell, those are the fundamentalists, neo-evangelicals, think Billy Graham, okay? What happened was the fundamentalists tried to build their base on segregation, okay, on segregation. Well, the country had moved on from segregation. Segregation was irrelevant, so what do they need? They needed another issue. So in trying to mobilize the Christian vote, Jerry Falwell hijacked the name it was called neo-evangelical. He hijacked it, and they hated Billy Graham and these guys. Bob Jones said that Billy Graham was the biggest threat to Christianity because he was okay with having modernists at his rallies, right? He was okay with having modernists at his rallies. So this would be like me having Goddess Gray on my channel and having a conversation with her. She's a progressive, or me having somebody that kind of, or a non-Christian. And so Billy Graham would have these folks on his channel that kind of colored outside of the lines of orthodoxy. And Bob Jones said Billy Graham was the greatest threat to Christianity. Not the people, but Billy Graham himself, because he was blending, right? They don't like affiliation. So fundamentalist, low view of culture, low view of art, low view of science, high view, literal view of scripture. They have an answer for everything. Everything is black and white. Everything is black and white. There is no discretion. There is no, right? And so now you have three camps, but Jerry Falwell, in his strategic approach of trying to unify these folks so they had a more unified approach to politics, hijacked the term evangelical, and now everyone that wasn't a modernist and wasn't, a Catholic fell under the umbrella of evangelicals, even though fundamentalists and neo-evangelicals were two different camps. You ever talk to somebody and you're fellowshipping and you're like, yeah, Jesus and the Lord, and then you slip up and they see a tattoo and they think you're not saved? That's fundamentalist vibes. You ever talk to somebody and all of a sudden you're talking about God and Jesus, and then they ask you about something, and you tell them about a new show you're watching, and they're like, you're not saved because you watch secular TV. You're not, right? Fundamentalist vibes. They have an answer for everything. They're very, very, very low view of culture, low view of art. They think all culture and all art tends to be satanic, right? They're legalistic, absolutely. So what happened is Jerry Falwell, founder of Liberty University, blended these two camps and created the term evangelical. Now, after the 70s, they got Ronald Reagan elected. And so what happened was, now the lines have been blurred. We don't know who's who. And everybody just kind of randomly falls under this category of evangelical. But the ideology creates hard lines and makes people take absolute positions when there's nuance in situations. And this type of thinking, fundamentalist thinking, think Spencer Smith, who won't have a conversation with me publicly, right? Fundamentalist thinking has now infiltrated all of Christianity, and now everybody has an answer for everything, and everything is an absolute standard. That is the epitome of fundamentalism. When you add that on top of politics, now it turns into Trump is God's candidate. If you don't vote Republican, you are not saved. And you add misinformation, you add QAnon conspiracy theories, you add the Alex Jones types, and they're literally believing it's a good versus evil fight. They think that anyone who could possibly vote for anybody that's not a Republican is for baby killing, is for the disruption of the nuclear family, is for the dismantlement of capitalism, and wants to destroy America. This is fundamentalism. This is how we got here. And so fundamentalists they'll deflect. Oh no, I just have a high view of scripture. The issue is you have a absolute view of everything else. You think everything is black or white, right? You think everything is black and white, which creates legalism. What is that? What am I talking about? You have legalistic positions on music. All secular music is evil. All secular TV is evil. Hey, if you don't believe in a literal 6-day creation, not just creation, but a literal 6-day creation, you're not saved. Everything becomes a salvation issue. Everything becomes a salvation issue. And some of you guys have slipped into this thinking and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. Because we could be having a conversation and you disagree on something and it escalates to, you're not saved, Ruslan. This happens to me every day, all the time in my YouTube comment section. So you could, because it's people dealing in absolutes. Add politics, add Trumpism, add a charismatic, famous leader, and now you have folks operating in fundamentalist thinking, black and white thinking. Anyone who says anything about Black Lives Matter is a cultural Marxist, Antifa, left apologist. And I've been called this. I've been called this. You're a communist, cultural Marxist, apologist for the left, and you are not hard on the left. And it's like, well, you're selective hearing, right? And when I point back to, hey, here's a reasonable thing we should all agree upon. 8 can't wait. Very reasonable, right? This is how it happens. This is how it happens. And so, yeah, I don't want those people here. I don't, if I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're working through it and you're struggling and you're trying to think through it, everybody's welcome. But if you think my tattoos are a sin, if you think my son dressing up for Halloween as Spider-Man is a sin, if you think me having a Christmas tree is a sin, all of that is fundamentalist thinking. You're deceived. You're deceived. You've fallen into legalism and fundamentalist thinking. And if you're bored, and if you have too much time on your hands, and you start going down the slippery slope of conspiracy videos, and then you get MAGA cult vibes. That's how we got here. That's how we got here. So what we don't need is leaders downplaying this, making it, oh, it's all good. They were patriots. Oh, we have to yeah, I understood why people rioted during the Black Lives. I understood. It didn't make it right. No, it was evil. It was terrible. People who rioted there, right? It was, you have to call out evil. You have to have just scales. So that's how we got here. That's how we got here. Just scales. Just scales. I was shocked that they didn't exhibit more force when these folks stormed the Capitol. But here's the dangerous part. Here's the dangerous part. The part that you guys don't understand is if we let this slide and we as Christians don't condemn this, I don't care if you voted for Trump, especially if you voted for Trump, especially if you voted for Trump. You need to condemn this. You need to condemn this. Not all Trump supporters are racist. Not all Trump supporters hate blacks. We're not, no. But if you voted for Trump, you need to clearly condemn this publicly. If you have friends that voted for you and you're an influencer, you need to clearly condemn this. Why? Because if we don't nip this in the bud, do you know what's going to happen? This is just the tip of the iceberg. These people have been radicalized. They think that they're fighting a revolution. What's going to happen next? What if they show up to Inauguration Day and then they try to swarm where the president-elect is standing? What happens then? Then we're not talking about 4 people getting killed. We're talking about a potential massacre. You think the CIA and excuse me, the Secret Service and the FBI and all these people gonna play? You try to get near the president? You trying to overthrow our government as a coup? This stuff is going to escalate if we do not call out evil. And again, for those of you guys with the same goofy questions, yes, I had the same energy after the riots in Kenosha. Go look it up. A gang of y'all was pissed off at me. It's not about white or black. There's definitely some privilege in the mix. For sure, some privilege in the mix. Right? It just looked, you know, I just imagine, hey, if these were all Black Lives Matter protesters, these were all black people rushing the Capitol, how would that have played out? I don't think it would have played out this peaceful. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But this is, there was black folks in there. Yeah, there was black folks in there. Right? So the truth of the matter is we have to call out evil. We have to have just scales, especially if you're a conservative and a Republican. Because here's the deal. You know why? You know why the Democrats just took over the Senate? Because of the MAGA cult. This is the Republicans losing the Senate is an indictment on the MAGA cult and these vibes. And the longer you bury your head in the sand and say, no, and by the way, I have influential people in politics that I'm communicating with over Instagram, and I'm telling them, distance yourself from this. Folks that I want to win, folks that I think will be amazing candidates that are Republicans, get away from the MAGA vibes. You need to distance yourself from these people. This is not a good look. Somebody I'm gonna have on the channel very soon. It might surprise you. I'm not gonna give it away because I'm still confirming on it. Right? So those of you guys are like, Ruslan, you're a leftist. You just aren't paying. One, you're not paying attention. Two, you don't actually listen to me because you would know if you hear me. I'm extremely for pro market. I'm not for massive taxes. I'm not for the disruption of the nuclear family. Right? So I'm telling my friends, you gotta distance yourself. You got any Republicans, anybody who's a Republican, you need to distance yourself. You need to distance yourself. I'm not opposed to voting for a Republican in the future. I'm not. Voted for Republicans in the past. Right? But if you're gonna sit back quietly and say, oh, this was Antifa, when there's no evidence to support that, when all of the people who first entered the Capitol have, majority of these folks in the pictures have been identified, right? Majority of these folks in the pictures, the woman who got killed, tragically, super sad, has been identified, right? There's just not, now, could there have been Antifa people there? Sure, there could have been. But the people who swarmed and led this thing, all identified as extreme right MAGA cult vibes, QAnon vibes. So I'm telling you guys, distance yourself from the delusion. If you want conservative values, conservative candidates, if you want any more influence moving forward, you need to distance yourself from this. And if you've dabbled in some of this stuff, you need to repent. You need to change your mind and do a 180. This isn't about politics anymore. This isn't about policy. Right? This is cult vibes. This is full on right-wing, far-right conspiracies. And for some people, it might be too late. For some people, for young people that are going to be, they may never forgive you. They may never forgive Republicans for this. Right? This, and some people, for some people, this is a huge black eye and a barrier for them even to be willing to hear about God and the gospel, because so much of these folks who swarmed the Capitol had these flags, had these Christian flags. Yeah, if these folks show up with weapons, it's going to be a massacre. I'm trying to tell y'all, they're playing with fire, and you not calling this out and acting like it's cool, you're enabling dysfunctional behavior. J. Cole, thank you so much for the super chat. People about to be mad surprised when the government really claps back on. It's gonna get ugly. All that a right to bear arms, which I'm for, by the way, right? I have firearms. I'm gonna buy more, but all of that, like a reasonable militia. You think folks got a reasonable militia to overturn the American government? You think that's a thing? They're not even gonna get near the White House for that to happen, right? Like that's. So all the Civil War talk, they could try. It's just gonna end ugly. It's gonna end really bad. It's gonna end really bad. It's gonna end really bad. And then don't take it and flip it and say an unarmed woman was killed. An unarmed woman breaching the Capitol was killed. One of the first breaking a window was killed by a Secret Service agent. It's tragic, but don't say her name. Y'all are so goofy. Say hi to our friends, buddy. This is Levi. Some of you guys know
Hi.
Levi. Levi just turned 6. Levi just turned 6. And we're gonna go on a walk?
Yep.
Yep. Let's see. Verse Mine, thank you so much for joining the channel. Appreciate you. Look, everybody's saying your name. What's up, Levi? What's up, Levi? Hi, Levi. Hi, Levi. Hi, Levi. Is that pretty cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your son's beautiful. Thank you, guys. Levi is going to be a big brother. We have another baby on the way. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl. He or she will be here in April. Look at all the emojis. Look at all the emojis coming in for you. Is that pretty cool?
Yeah.
There's a good amount of people watching right now, dude. Yeah, so we got a baby on the way in January. And when you guys hear me talk about this stuff...
No, Dad, not in January.
Oh, excuse me, in April.
April
It's
4th.
April 4th. When you guys hear me talking about this stuff and you guys hear me get excited, it's honestly because I'm thinking about like the next generation. I'm thinking about what kind of world are your kids and my kids going to grow up in, right? Like that, like really think about that. Think that through, because it's not, oh, someone gave you $10 for Levi. Someone made a super chat donation. Caleb Montgomery, thank you. Thank you. So that's that. When you guys hear me get passionate, when you guys hear me really try to communicate and drive some of this stuff home, just know that's my heart, that's my intent. And on top of which, when you guys see me frequently block people and hide people from the channel, which by the way still allows them to watch stuff, is because I need to protect my own mental health in terms of the type of energy I'm going to engage in. And if you are in an alternate reality, I'm not equipped. I don't have the capacity to do that. I don't have the capacity to do that with you guys. I really don't. And I love you, and I'm praying for those people, but I don't have the capacity to engage with people who show that much strong cognitive dissonance. I just don't. I can't. If everything is Antifa and everything is never Trump's fault and everything is never what it seems to be in the entire universe, the entire world as we know it is a lie, and you've been fed, like if you're in that, I don't have, don't press that button, press this button. I don't have the capacity to engage in that. So I block you as a way to protect you from my content and me from your, what I would say, toxicity and delusion. Is America the New Age Babylon? I don't think so. I have a lot of hope. If you look at the world globally, things have gotten substantially better, in my opinion. If you look at poverty, if you look at food, if you look at just violence is down, all these things are better. Pre-pandemic unemployment, like everything has gotten better overall, and I'm hopeful.
Joshua the king came down and bore it all. Yeah, conversations front of the fireplace. All of my mistakes, how do I erase? Wanna operate at a higher pace. Birth pains causing the body to dilate. On a first name basis with the worst pain facing. Moments in isolation. See, I was hoping I would do this to get more family time. A busy mind and worried heart is just not where I reside. I subscribed that all that traveling wasn't doing well for my soul. Glad I never made it when my name went through the rumor mill. I suppose that the Lord knows I'd have failed. Instead, I'm doing well at home, out my shell. Good book off the shelf, more dubs off the L's. I told Ray they ain't just gon' know us, they gon' know us well. Happy to have failed my way to success. With my family by my side, Lord knows what's next. Yeah, I shoot where the king came down and bore it all. I know a few things, never claimed to know it all. But I know what's off, never noticed y'all. Hit a protocol, need an overhaul. Need an